positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to the Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Yo, positive energy and good vibrations from you, boy, perfect gentleman. And yes, this is another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. What I know if you get tired of my sound effects, you better wake up because we just got them and I'm very excited to have them. So listen, Eric, Chris, what it do, Kings? How y'all feeling, man?
Man, what's popping, man?
Blessing and progressing, man.
Listen, it's good to be with you fellas tonight, man. And to anybody that's checking this out for the first time on this podcast, this is the Imperfect Fathers Podcast, where we come around to have a conversation to inspire, encourage, and motivate a father to be a better version of himself, but not just himself, but the community and the generations to come. So right now, around this podcast, we have protocol that we must follow before we get started. And that protocol is talking to the man upstairs and paying the bills around here. So with that being said, we're going to talk to the pops. Heavenly Father, we thank you for another opportunity. We thank you for the oxygen flowing nicely through our lungs. We thank you for the blood that wants flowing through our veins right now. Right now, Father, we are grateful for life itself. So right now, God, we actually look over as we go across the airwaves, that we may say something to inspire, encourage, and Father, be the best version of yourself, God, for generations to come. These things we do, pray and imagine them with the Most High.
Amen.
All right, here we go. Can you turn your volume up on top? Okay, a little bit. I'm scared to touch these volumes right now. To the recording right now, we are actually streaming live on Instagram while we're doing this right now. So I'm trying to work these sounds and not get all the echoes and all the high pitches we had earlier. So please forgive us if we do not master the sound tonight. We are working on it. So with that being said, check this out. Around this podcast, I have a phenomenal sponsor. Those guys over at It's Now or Never Entertainment have been holding me down for years now. And they've been holding a lot of people down for years, a lot of content creators, because their music has been behind in all kinds of content creators. So for all your music needs, whether it be hip hop, gospel, R&B, I give them a lot of hell. I tell them honky tonk and all other kinds of music. But ask them, try them out, you'll never know. But go over to It's Now or Never Entertainment and let them know that Perfect Father sent you. And any beat in the beat store, if you use the word imperfect, will be half off, 50% off. So go over there, shop smart, shop black, shop It's Now or Never Entertainment. Let them know that we sent you from the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. You know what? That's rude of me. That was rude of me. That was a great segue, but I didn't let you guys say hello to the people or nothing. And y'all guys just sitting there mad calmly and mad nicely. Yo, what's up, fellas? What's going on? My bad. I apologize. I got excited, man.
Yo, we just figured that you was just gonna figure it out.
Thanks. It's all good though. I'm just along for the ride, man. I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah, we just figured you was gonna figure that all out, bro.
Hey, thank God for me having some kind of a little bit of awareness. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, man. So we finally got it rocking. Welcome back to everybody that had to fall off on Instagram because my phone got too hot. We are back in the building. We are back to get it in. So we're about to play. Oh, as a matter of fact, Chris, I'm still talking that shit, but you still ain't say hello to the people, and you know what I mean, and get your intro in here, baby. I'm that aware now.
That's funny.
And I'm aware you chewing on something right now, so you really mad that I'm putting the mic on you right now.
It's all good. I'm just crashing these M&Ms. But my name is Chris McBride. I'm a healing coach. Blessing and progressing tonight. Shout out to my son, CJ the Great. Give him a little cameo real quick about my little son. Love my little man.
My guy.
Other than that, man, that's really it, man. I guess people will learn me as, they get to know me, I guess. More time I spend out here.
You better believe it. And like I said, you're going to spend some time. You got some conversations to have. And you are welcome. And you are on this platform as a regular basis now. So my people out there, all you imperfect fathers, all you friends and family of the podcast, welcome, my guys, to the platform, man. As a matter of fact, there we go. Now let's get to it. Because I'm telling you, I'm chomping at the bits right now. I'm ready to talk about this topic. Here we go.
I got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live, telling my story, speaking my truth, And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, yet not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times they'll either take.
I'm reading super chats throughout the show, so I am highlighting them. I am going to get to you guys. Thank you to everybody that contributes to the platform. Let's continue.
Abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me.
Can you pause it real quick, RJ?
I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I didn't told you I did not want them kids.
What was that, see?
I was asking, can you pause it real quick? So the bro said, I always tell women I don't want kids. He said only these 7 refuse to get an abortion because I usually pay for abortion. So it got me really curious. How many abortions has this nigga had? How many abortions has this nigga paid for? Because if it's the 7 that he say just refused to do it, I'm curious as to now how many women just went along with it. Like, oh, fuck it. Okay, yeah. Take me to the clinic.
Damn.
Yo,
I didn't think about that.
This dude is populating the state. Whatever state he in, he populating the entire state.
Shit.
Hey, they say 20% of the men give birth or, you know what I'm saying, produce 80% of the kids. That's why he got 7 baby mamas and all that, because women tend to fuck the same nigga. Like, that's just natural selection. But it's just interesting the ones that they tend to choose.
It's crazy, man.
Yo, so all right, so I don't know on Instagram if you guys can hear the video that we're watching. Is it if it's coming through the system? I hope it is.
Can y'all hear it?
Right.
Can y'all hear
guys
it? Thumbs up.
You guys can hear the video that we're watching, not our voices, but the video that we're watching a few minutes ago. Give us a thumbs up. But if you cannot, we're watching a video of a young man who have 7 kids by 7 baby mothers. I don't know if you might have seen the video. It's been viral on TikTok for the last, I would say, week and a half now, 2 weeks. And I'm just now getting wind of it. But we're watching the reaction video of Anton Daniels. And yeah, we're pretty much picking it apart right now. And Chris pointed out a very, very good perspective that I didn't think of, is that if this gentleman has said that he's offered to have abortions to all 7 kids that he does have currently that he's not taking care of and he's proud of, right? That means he's had others that went through with it. And the number behind that, Chris, is probably catastrophic, bro, to be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as sad as that may sound, but that number might be like too high to even say right now. Sadly, because he and let me tell y'all something. He's gonna bring a good point up that also does not negate the women's behavior, because I don't want ladies sitting around watching this right now thinking to themselves, "Oh yeah, see, this nigga he ain't shit, he ain't no good." He brings up a valid point, and we're gonna touch on it very shortly. So here we go. You got anything else for this, E? If I go back?
No. Hit it.
All right.
So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with, because you're going to be.
Okay. Now, I got to stop it there. Because, ladies, I know you're probably watching this right now. And, yo, Prince, what's going on? King, shout out to you, my guy. I know you're probably watching this right now, and a lot of women probably triggered right now. But that one statement he made out of all the nonsense he's been saying was actually true. And I really want that to resonate to the women out here in these streets. Please, queens, be more choosy who you give your bodies to. This scumbag should not be privy to your body, y'all. Men like him should be beaten off and letting his babies fall in wherever they fall at. I'm gonna be that raw and real with it. This man should not be reproducing, and he shouldn't be privy to a woman's body. So,
And what the issue is now we going in that kind of like evolutionary psychology in a sense where the difference between like when it comes for women dating, well, women dating strategies between the difference between like just short-term casual sex and like a long-term partner that they want to, latch on to forever. They judge them motherfuckers different. So with like short-term casual sex, they find his type of personality, they're more attracted to that in short-term sex. Now with long-term, they wouldn't try to, what I'm saying, like marry that dude typically, you know what I'm saying? But like when it comes to sex, but most of us, we don't have kids intentionally. Most of us, we get sexually attracted to somebody, we have sex with them, and then a baby comes, or you know what I'm saying, then we try to form a relationship and put responsibility on them from that time, and then we judge them or we fall out of relationship for character reasons when niggas didn't even check the character at first. We was just sexually attracted, and then just through the sex we got attached, and then from the attachment we try to put responsibility on the nigga and then get mad because the nigga ain't up to our responsibility, when it should be the reverse order. It should be from the jump, before the sexual attachment kicks in. We should see Chris Lean in on IG too. Okay, my fault. But we should see if they're compatible to fit the responsibility that we're looking for in a mate. And then from there, let the attraction and the sexual attraction build. But we get the reverse order. And I think that's where a lot of issues come in at.
nah, you for real, like a lot of things we do is backwards, especially, and that was pertaining to the women in their body, but like a lot of us men learn more about having sex before we learn about our emotions. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of this shit backed up. We got a lot of this shit back. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, Eric, I want to present you with this question, bro. What do you think is a cause of this? Like, what do you think that the cause of this behavior is? This confusion, this backwards way of finding out our behaviors and sexualities. What do you think the cause of that is? Because it's not like it's not we don't know the right way of doing it, but what is this confusion of doing things ass backwards these days? Do you have any insight on that? Do you believe you know?
Well, this is just my theory. The great Miles Monroe said this, and I say it all the time, and I think it's something that everybody really needs to get into their psyche. And it's this: it's when you don't understand the purpose of a thing, you're destined to abuse it. And really, what's happening is that everything that you guys are talking about is a result of abuse, gross abuse, like not just minor abuse where you're just every now and then, but it's grown to the point whereas it's almost like an epidemic, almost as bad as COVID, probably worse, right? Because COVID, you didn't enjoy it. But sexual contact, sexual interaction, all of that, you're enjoying it. And then on top of that, the thing that makes it even worse is social media, songs, friends, everything pumps this type of behavior up to the point whereas it is seen as like the more women you have,
Right,
the more clout you have.
right,
The more men you have, now it's even to the point where it's even the more men you have, the more clout you have. Because even now there's songs where women are bragging about the multiple partners that they've had. There's shows that talk about the multiple partners they had. So really what's happened is society has been proliferated with something that has skewed or made blurry the purpose of relationships and sexual interaction. Those two things right now, if you ask 10 people on the street what the purpose of it is, man, how many people will really say something that leans more towards what we're talking about today?
wow. Yeah, I truly believe that you're right behind that because we've had an episode before when we was talking about sexuality as a father, like and explaining sexuality to our children. Like we're overly inundated with all kind of subliminal messages throughout the day, everywhere you look, and that's just the scratching the surface of it. You know what I'm saying? And not to get too far off, because I'm not letting this scumbag off the hook. We ain't finished with this Negro.
Facts.
But I'm looking at this right now, like, you know me, guys. Like, I'm not just bringing this as a problem without trying to find a solution to this, because this, in no actuality, is the problem that I had with my no longer best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the issue. This is the reason. If you guys are watching this right now and you haven't had opportunity, well, I know you haven't, because if you didn't check it out live, we took it down and it's being edited and all those things. But the new episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast, we spoke about the elevation of separation, and also how leaving friendships have to happen if you're looking to grow and develop into the man or individual you're looking to be. So this person right here, man, like, just flat out, to be honest, this nigga shouldn't get no box. This Negro should not be privy to the blessings of the vagina. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're gonna get back to him.
Be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body, and they think.
Now, hold on. Now, I gotta stop it there too. Once again, to the ladies. Ladies, if a man doesn't have to work to get you or your body, he's not gonna. That's just a flat out truth, y'all. Like, if you don't make a man work to enjoy the pleasures of your body, and when I say work, I don't mean spend money. That's gonna be a take right there. I'm gonna say that one more time. When I mean a man should work for your body, does not mean buy your body a Louis Vuitton bag. I don't mean buying your body a new pair of red bottoms or fluing you out. That's the new dumb shit I'm hearing. Getting flued out. Nah, that's not working for your body. And if that is the case, this right here, this mockery of a man right here is literally what you're gonna get. Fellas, what do y'all have towards that point about women not having to work? I mean, men not having to work to get to a woman's body, and literally this is the outcome of it all.
I think that you can't be mad at the outcome. Like, too much is given, much is required, meaning that, like, if the box is really gonna be worth something, to me, it's gonna be like a lot required in that. And if like the box really ain't worth nothing, then it ain't really gonna be much required in it. And
Are you
you know, and I'm not
out again? Is your mic on Instagram turned off?
Yep.
On the gram?
Yep.
Oh, it stopped now. I don't know what happened. Go ahead, my bad.
But just saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't really take much effort to get the box, then we don't value. I mean, it's like anything, you know, anything that comes that's easy in a guy's mind, if we get the box easy, even if the woman only gave the box to us, if she gave it to us easy, in our mind, you gave it to everybody easy. It immediately just kind of drops. Like, I look at it like a grid, and like, women gotta be mindful of their perception, because once it's easy for us to knock a woman off this grid from wifey to just somebody I'm cool with, just interacting and dating with, to just somebody I'm just knocking and I don't even want to be seen with in public. Like, all of those things, how we choose to treat a woman, whether it's just, again, somebody we keep a secret in private, somebody we cool with just, but we not going to fully commit to, or somebody we cool with letting the world know we are. all that a lot of times depend on that person's perception, and that person's perception is based upon the stuff that they do. So if you got the perception of just being easy, again, a man will say, "Oh, that's cool," because they're thinking about just getting the box. But once they get the box, they not about to want none. And then as a man, you lose value to me. I stopped doing that because I started losing value based upon just the easy catches. It's just like, yeah, you just
Chris,
going for the shit in
Chris,
front of you.
Chris, you took the words right out of my mouth. You took the words right out of my mouth because, yeah, you could blame the woman and say she made it easy for him to connect, right? And if it's easy for a brother to connect, he's going to go ahead and do it. But then you have to, as a man, you got to have a certain level of maturity so that you can see further than right now.
Right.
And when I say right now, I mean right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now. You got to get past that. You got to get past that.
Them things and
Because
that fat cake. Yeah.
right, because if you rocking like that and that's your main thing, then 1 week later, dude, what are you getting out of that? Are you getting conversation? Are you getting nurturing? Are you getting someone that can encourage you? What are you getting besides that? And then, okay, even if you know what I'm saying, like Mr. Superman in the bed, okay, 30 minutes out, whatever. That little bit of time is nothing compared to the rest of the time that you have to live, the rest of the time that you got things to do. And if that person can't elevate you, you know what I'm saying? Because we're always talking about men coming in and elevating women, but man, dude, it's a two-way street. They both elevate one another. We all know that. So as a man, you got to be able to look into that situation. And instead of you just saying, oh, she knew what it was, like he did, she knew what it was. She was a jump off. I told her what it was before I laid down with her. But I'll bet you any amount of money that if you peel back the layers of this dude's life, bro, he got a lot of holes in his life.
Hey,
because he dug a lot of them with these women.
E, that was somewhere I was definitely headed, bro. Like that's a phenomenal segue because I was sitting here and I'm saying yes because I really wanted to drive home the fact of our queens that you have the final say so of this. Like when it comes down to it, like take our ignorance and our silliness away from it all. You have the final say so with your body. That is the ultimate say so. And gentlemen, like I said earlier, gentlemen like this man shouldn't be privy to that. But at the same time, we as men, we this can't be us, right? We cannot just give our value away because, like you said, E, we just simply don't understand what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I want to say about this young man is that he has to have so many. I wonder does he have a father? I wonder what his relationship with his father is like. That's the question that comes to mind when I think about what he must feel or what he must have been through to have this outlook on life itself. You know what I'm saying? Like that just makes me wonder that. But
Bro, he really can't value himself. He can't value himself. So let's go down the line. Number one, he can't value himself. Number two, he can't value legacy. He don't know what legacy is. Like if you laying up with everybody else, how can you even have a lineage? And then if you got a lineage, it's not going like down the line. It's going here, 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 everywhere. So now you're causing confusion. So now basically what you're doing is, and you know what, man, I take it back. He does have a legacy. He's actually sowing the seed to make things worse, make his kids even be worse than him. We're sitting here talking about how bad he is. But if he keeps doing what he's doing and teaching what he's doing to another generation, what happens with the next generation? It only gets worse. That's just like a seed in the ground. The seed this little. But when you plant the seed in the ground, the harvest is much bigger. So imagine the harvest that he's gonna have unless he does some serious going and trying to talk to all these kids and getting them to understand. And I mean, it's a lot, man. So it's a serious thing for real.
Bro, we're gonna get back to the video, but I do pray for the kids, boy. Man,
Yes, sir.
them,
Yes, sir. For sure.
those 7 lives, bro, that are just
I want
Especially
to be a
because he's not even.
father to a child for one of them. Like,
wait, say that again.
Especially because he's not even, like he's saying, not even answering the phone. The baby mama called. I'm just hanging up. So it's no support. It's no nothing. That's the real saddening part of it. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
bro.
And
Yeah.
it's almost as if though like he's proud of this shit almost. Like he says this with such confidence.
Yeah. But Rod, you know how that go though, man, because we've done that. We've done that, Rod. Like, have you ever been like in the back of your mind, you knew you was wrong, but then you had to convince yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like something was telling you, no,
Yeah.
you off, you full of
Right.
garbage. But then you had to convince yourself by being, and that's what this dude doing. That's because you could even see it in his bravado. He gotta be all, yeah, man. And I'm like, dude, you don't
and
even
that's
have to
why he
do
gotta
all that.
have no contact. You're right, because he can't be thinking about it. Because you trying to
Exactly,
put that
bro.
shit
So
out of his mind.
he got to isolate himself. And now when someone talks about it, he's got to meet it with the bravado to offset it in his mind, in his psyche, in his spirit. Because, dude, I don't care what nobody say. Your spirit ain't right. You doing that. That's just me. It's something telling him, something happening somewhere where it's like, you know what? I'm off. So yeah.
Shout out to Miss Woods on Instagram. She asks us, what video are you individuals referring to? We're referencing
Put the title in the comments and pin it.
All right, yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now. 7 kids and 7 baby mothers. The gentleman that went viral on TikTok for having 7 kids and 7 baby mothers that he refused to take care of. So let me just pin that up here really quick. 7 kids and 7 baby.
I wish we could have got the link. It's out there now.
I guess they could have just probably copied the link. Can you copy comments in here?
I don't know, to be honest. And
I don't think you can copy comments.
Oh, because somebody actually threw it in the comments? That's dope.
oh, somebody did? I can't even see it.
I was saying that's why we just can't throw the link in the comments, because you can't they wouldn't be able to copy it or nothing.
Right,
Or
right.
click it.
They won't let me.
But no, man, yeah, so it's, we're actually breaking down the psychology of this dude too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sad to say that the fruit is him laying with all these women and having these kids. That's the fruit. But
Right.
now we breaking it down to the root, man. And it's like, it's, I hate to say it, man, but it's the same thing that really affects all of us to a certain extent, which is low self-esteem at times. You know what I'm saying? Don't value yourself,
Right.
which really leads to you doing just about anything. And that's really what to me, that's what it looks like it's boiling down to more than anything, bro.
Right. Here we go. Let's finish this guy off, man. I don't know how much more I can take it.
don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this shit and be like, black men this, black men that, I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
So,
Wow.
And he have.
Uh,
He have.
yeah. So
I don't know what to say, man. Like, bro.
yo,
I wish we could get him on the podcast.
and like that's another clip that I have. I gotta actually get it and load it up. But he actually went back live with Anton Daniels and other women, and they addressed him, and it really wasn't too nice,
I
as you
imagine.
as you can
But
imagine. Yeah.
I'm
Um.
interested in what other man got to say to him, though. I'd be interested in.
Right. I would love to have him on a panel with us and a few other different kings to just sit and just talk to him and just find out what's going on, or why do you feel this way, or why do you want to live your life this way? You know what I'm saying? Like what what about this gives you fulfillment? You know what I'm
The
saying?
thing
Like,
is, though, it's like, and I'm mind reading a little bit, but I can guarantee he didn't grow up with his father.
oh yeah.
And what I would say to him is the same feeling that you had as a kid, because you could hear in the aggression in his voice. I guarantee he got daddy issues. And the daddy issues that he got, how many of them like just perpetuating the cycle?
Mm,
Like all your kids, all your sons. Because I guarantee there's no way he can have a healthy relationship with his father and just abandon his kids like that. There's no fucking way.
unless his father's a true piece of shit. You know what I'm
That's why I
saying?
said a healthy relationship with his
Right,
dad. There's
right,
no
right.
there's no way he got. I guarantee you he has daddy issues. There's no way you got a strong father structure in your life and nigga you talking like that.
Right. I
Your
definitely.
dad's pulling up on you. I'm pulling up on what?
Yo, imagine one of our boys sounding like that right now. Like as fathers, as three fathers on this platform right now, and this platform which is named the Imperfect Fathers, for a reason, right? Because none of us are on this platform are perfect. Uh,
We
but
ain't doing that.
nah, yo,
We ain't
my
doing
son's
that.
name is Josiah, and as you all may already know, and whoever doesn't know now that, but Josiah is 5 years old and his tender age of 5 on his way to 6. But in the day and age or hour, he thinks that this kind of behavior is remotely acceptable. Somebody just pray for my boy, because he might not be around too much longer. I'm just putting it out there. And Daddy's saying that.
But it's just that's the importance of like holding kids accountable, raising the child in the way that he should go. Because you can again tell, probably raised with his mom, probably got away with a whole bunch of stuff. Because again, no boy who was raised to be responsible is talking like that.
Right. I gotta right. I gotta go with you when you're right, Chris, because I truly can't imagine another man okay with this. Like a man of standards, right? Because let me not say that, because I always go to to people that I've known in prior, and they exist. As we can see, they do exist. He's not the only man like this, and this is like I wish he was. I wish this wasn't a brand of man. I truly wish this wasn't a brand, but this can only he can only we can only exist as the men we are because of men like him, because of the law of polarity, y'all. I know it's two sides to everything. You can't have one without the other. So we gotta have the yin, so we gotta have the yang. He has
Well,
to exist.
for sure. Um, and that's so true, man. And I even want to bring something else into it, though. That's. I mean, it's wild, but it's crazy. So we're looking at this from our viewpoint as far as like here in our country, right?
Mhm.
But what's so wild is dude, there's other cultures where men are doing this, but the only difference is that those men are available to those kids and those mothers. Like I know people that are in Thailand that's literally doing what this dude is doing. But the heinous thing about it, and you know, we can go as deep as giving your body to somebody, you know what I'm saying, and you shouldn't do that. The purpose of it is in the abuse, but then it's so funny that other cultures are cool with the multiple and all of that as long as you take care of everybody.
Right.
Because literally, man, like Colombia, bro, like them dudes in Colombia, man, they be stomachs out to here, you know, you know what I'm saying,
Now,
and all ages coming to see them. So you know they probably got more than 7.
facts.
But when that baby drops, like that fat stomach dude is working. Like I've been in them, like they like doing stuff, like you know what I'm saying, because even though they may let the sexual thing go, the people in that country ain't their culture. Like, no, you gonna take care of this kid. Like, they ain't gonna starve.
Osama bin Laden was the youngest of 50 kids.
You see what I'm saying, bro?
His dad was the richest man in that country. He was like a
That's
construction
that's
like guru or some shit, but he was the youngest of 50.
yeah, bro. So I know I just twist the cap a little bit with what I just said, but I like to just expand the mind a little bit, like
Nah, but in
you
actuality,
know.
but this is why I always. This is why I can't say always. This is why, as of late, I've been on this. Is that I don't like to say what's right or wrong no more because it's based on where you're at. Because, like you
Yes,
said,
it is.
there are different parts of the country and the world where what we frown at over here on this side of the world, on this side of the globe, others that's their regular behavior, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
seen as anything wrong. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things that we think are taboo or downright outrageous. But I'm glad that you brought a perspective into it, is because there are places where this kind of behavior is accepted, but as you said, also with the stipulation of provisions, right? I think that's the part that's global, right? I think that's the part that's
Mm-hmm.
international and worldwide. That if you're going to drop these seeds, you have to water them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you understand? Like, if you're gonna create these lives, you have to
It's a
maintain
great point.
them,
That's a great point.
and that's
That's a great point.
universal, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there is God, our Father, has created this earth and put us on it, but He's also gave us the rain to preserve us. He's given us everything we need because He's brought us here. So if He's an actual Father and He's given us the blueprint, how could we possibly be out here creating lives, creating individuals that will be here supposedly longer than we will to carry us on, and how we not seeing about them, how we are not nurturing them, how we are not watering them? How is that
Yeah.
possible?
Yeah. And like I said, even in other cultures, the village thought process is real too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even if the dad is slacking a little bit or may not have enough money for everybody, they really do live by it takes a village to raise a child. And it's not just in what they say as far as wisdom, but it's also in provision, eating. Like, you will see large families eating together. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody gonna starve. Everybody gonna have somewhere to sit. So it's just wild how to do that. But the common thing is that, you know, men who think like that, no matter where they are, think they could drop their seed no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And
And it's scary, bro, because
yeah, yeah,
let's just think about all of our moments of trauma as young boys, right? Like, the things we went through. And Eric, you was privy to have your pops, Chris as well. Me, I was privy to have my step pops and the role that he played. But just just imagine the trauma that each one of those 7 kids are going to have to endure, because it's not even like he's willing to even be a half-ass good father.
yeah. He
He's
ain't even acknowledging.
he's
He
not
ain't
even
even acknowledging.
acknowledging them, and then he gets online and exposes what he really feels, not about just the kids, but about the mother.
So them kids could listen to that later.
At some point, they're going to have to.
Oh my God!
Guess what?
Wow.
guess what happens? We have something called 23andMe, right? We have these DNA tests. So at one point, one of these 7 kids might be privy enough to one of these tests and say, "Let me find out if who my daddy, what kind of scumbag." And then when that test crosses wind with the videos that went viral for this young man, yo, somebody find these kids therapists right now because they're going to need it. I can't even imagine finding a video of my real father telling me, "Oh, I didn't even want you anyway." I can't even imagine what that would do to a young man. Or
Bro,
young
that's hurt me now hearing that. Like that's
man.
I mean, I'm almost getting emotional hearing that. That dude. Wow. You know?
I
That's
mean,
serious.
One of my closest friends. So in high school, he had extreme anger, and it all stemmed from he didn't really know his dad that much. He knew his dad through the connection with like an estranged sister, and so that's the only way he kept up with any information from him. Well, he thought that he had died because that's what the sister had told him. And when I tell you, I've known this dude since he was 15 years old. That literally defined him when we was younger. And he had so much anger issues. Fast forward, I just seen him a couple months ago. Soon as I get in the car, do you know his father was alive this whole time?
what?
His father, the sister got into it with the dad. So because she knew that him and his dad didn't really have a connection. They only would talk through him or through her, I mean. So when she fell out with the dad, she was like, "Oh yeah, our dad dead." Because he didn't have no connection with the dad. He couldn't talk to the dad. He was only keeping up with it through the sister. Like 15 years went by before he found out that his dad was alive. And it's only because his dad's other kids found him on social media and was like, "Hey man, I think you my sibling." And he like, "Nah, bro, I only got a sister." And they like, "Nah, nigga, I think." And then they started giving him all this information. He like, "Damn, with all this information you got on me, you gotta be somebody to me, so I'll meet you." And then he found out they his real siblings. His dad is alive. That stayed literally 10 minutes from this nigga our whole life, bro. And when I tell you, his father dying defined him. Like I couldn't even. And then that's the first thing he told me when I seen him after a couple years. He was like, "Man, my dad's alive." I met him and all that. Got to see him. He gave me his number, but I just been scared to go hang out with him and all that. And I'm just like,
Yo, that is insane. Because my wife and I just had this conversation today on the way to the park. I mean, on the way home with the kids from the park. Yo, we had this conversation because we both don't know. Well, we know our real fathers, but we don't know where they are, what their lives consisted of, what if they have children, if I have sisters and brothers out there. We don't know. And we was talking about what would we ever want to know, like to take by taking that 23andMe test, we would know and find out who our siblings were, but would we want to talk to them? Would we want to have the conversation with them? And both of our answers were simply, I wouldn't want to cause them emotional trauma by ruining what they think of their father. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want to cause
Wow.
amongst them, especially if he's no longer here. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
if he's expired and it's just me getting the to know the fact that I have sisters and brothers out there. I don't think I would reach out to them only because I don't know what kind of man he was to them. And if he was an upstanding man, and if he was a great dad and a great father, I wouldn't want to tarnish that, right? Just because I want to know something. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't
For
believe that
sure.
my inquisit my being
Yeah.
inquisitive is enough to ruin someone's entire outlook on their father.
Dude, so first of all, before I say anything, man, for you and your wife to even have that thought, like to me, man, that thought right there is probably birthed from the trauma that you and your wife had.
Mhm.
That thought process And that decision was birthed out of the years of trauma y'all had. And you are to the point where you wouldn't wish that on anyone else.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
that's why you wouldn't do that. Dude, that right there, that disruptive thinking is some of the thinking that will actually break what the so-called generational curses are and everything else. It's going to take that type of disruptive thinking to offset the thinking of this idiot. Like people can't just sit back and be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he crazy and just no. They have to be actively moving on thoughts like you and your wife just had, and that's powerful, bro. Like because with all these years of stuff stacked on to our lives, bro, it's going to take a long time to peel a lot of that back. And you know what we believe, man. We believe in the power of prayer. We believe in all that stuff, and things can happen quickly. I believe that. But also, man, there's always a residue. There's always a circumstance. There's always something left over. And it's something that plagues, and I'll just say it plagues our community big time, man. That's why so many people, and Rod, you can attest to this. You tell me your stories all the time. Chris, I don't know. But Rod, you tell me your story all the time, like how you was out there and you had to get it.
Yeah.
You had to get it because you ain't had nobody around you to tell you anything or give you anything. You ain't really had nobody, you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Give you provision, give you advice, give you love. As a man, bro, that's why these kids now. So many people talk about the kids now. Oh my God, they're out of control. They have absolutely no respect. At least when thieves were in the street, there was like honor amongst thieves. They don't even have that. Well, you got to realize, man, the harvest is always greater.
Right. Always.
So if we ain't been giving them nothing, and then they keep getting this same garbage put in them all the time, what's gonna happen?
Garbage in, garbage out. You know what
And,
I
and, and if you never eliminate the garbage, what happens, Rod?
piles up. That's a fact. hmm Bro, I'm looking at this thing as if it caused me, and I now look at life differently. I didn't lose those years. I gained experience and the ability to help through those years.
Powerful.
But the years that I've went through up until right now, as a 38-year-old man, soon to be 39, all the trauma and all the feelings of being deficient, the feelings of being insecure, and all those things, like you said, I wouldn't want to wish that on no one. And then to have to know that it didn't do anything for me, but for them it changed everything. You know what I'm saying? Like changed everything. And that right there is what I'm not willing to do. Like you know you get a pain bad when you don't want that same pain to go to no one else. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wait,
it's
wait, wait,
like
wait, 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 wait. Say that again. Say that again.
yes indeed. You know the pain hurt bad. You know it hurt bad when you don't want that pain to no one else to feel that pain that you felt. That's how you know that pain is excruciating. That's how you know that really hit home. And to
I
be
say that
honest,
about jail and divorce, man. I don't wish that on no man, not even my enemy.
Ooh.
damn, Chris.
Hey, you got a bomb sound effect or something? Like, dude.
Matter of fact, I got I don't
Yeah,
I gotta get a bomb as a matter of fact.
bro. Oh my God.
And for real,
Ooh.
no, and for real, see, like, and let me tell you, that's literally two of my worst nightmares. One, I'm sad to say that I've had the experience before, which was jail. Like, not, and I can't say jail because I didn't get that. That's not jail when you if you don't spend more than a year. I don't. That's well, yes, jail, not prison. So anyway,
I've
I
been to jail too, though.
man, I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts of it.
I only had to go that one time, and I was there a short while, and I was like, "This is not for me. The way you're allowed to be treated like you're not a human there, I said, yeah, I learned yeah, you know what? That's not for me. I'm good. The way they treat you in there, I said, bro, you know what? No, I can't do this, bro. I can't do
No, wait, wrong one. That's the realization I came to when I realized I shouldn't have my black ass in there. I was like, you know what? They treating us like animals and savages in here. Let me get my black ass out of here and never come back. And for real, divorce is something that I truly, because I love my wife so dearly. Like, and I believe that anyone that got married definitely loved their spouse. But that right there hit hard, so hard, Chris, because man, like talk about one of my fears. That's definitely one of them. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't want anyone to have to go through anything that's gonna cause, like I said, cause you to not be the best version of yourself, or make you regress in your progress of being a better version of yourself, because that's true indeed pain. That's true.
And that's that's a huge driving force. That's actually in my avatar is men fearing to lose their family, because that's a deep driving force for a lot of us, man. That fear of just, yo, man, I don't want to. And that's another reason why, as far as my coaching practice, I've learned to appreciate wanting my clients to be married, because a single man isn't really as motivated to control himself or to better himself or to constantly improve. But when you got a family, when you got a wife and kid, you're motivated to keep yourself in check. You're motivated to get all them issues in order. You're motivated to control that aggression. You're motivated to learn how to communicate. You're motivated to just, again, learn how to become the best version of yourself. And that's what I look at a woman as. That's why I always love the example of the Lion King with Nala and Simba. You know, remember, Simba was just a bum. He just wanted to go out of Hakuna Matata. No worries, no responsibilities. I'm just out here kicking it every day, just chilling and shit, eating maggots. And Nala was like, bro, you got a whole kingdom. You got a whole responsibility. What you want? And remember, he got mad at first. He's like, nah, what you mean? I'm cool out here. And then when he sat down and thought about it, he was, damn, you know what? That's right. So I've learned, and shout out to Jordan Peterson, because he kind of introduced this concept to me in reference to the Lion King, is that a lot of times, and Miles Monroe reinforced it, where we think it's provoking, but really, you know what I'm saying, it's really a woman trying to hold us accountable for the greatness that we know that's in us. And sometimes we may get a little timid, we may get a little scared, so we hold ourselves back a little bit, and then we project that on to them. But in actuality, like Miles Monroe would say, she ain't nagging you, she just telling you to you what you told her you was gonna do. But now, because you running into opposition and shit, or you know what I'm saying, the sales ain't go like you thought it was, or it ain't taking off like you. Now you trying to change some stuff up, and you mad because she's still reminding you, like, hey, didn't you say we was gonna do this? Didn't you say that this was gonna happen? And we don't like that shit, and then we try to lash out. But
that's a whole fact, my boy.
But you, man,
you spoke about that like in the last episode. You went in
bro.
that.
Yeah,
you went that.
But you know what, Chris? That's so powerful, y'all, because you know what it feels like.
Yeah.
So imagine that you just got, you got a sore on your arm, right?
Okay.
And you ain't been taking care of it. You've been like, oh, it's all right. You ain't really putting nothing on it. You know what I'm saying? It's just there. That woman is coming and putting her finger on that sore. If someone comes and put a finger on a sore that's been there and you ain't done nothing to it, it hurts. It hurts. So what do you usually do when somebody does that to you? You lash out. Man, I beat your butt.
Right.
And it's the same thing when a woman touches that thing inside you that's been sitting there and you haven't touched it, you haven't healed it, you haven't done nothing to it. But then if the woman sees it because you have happened to let her into your life, because women can see. Women have more than just the eyes right here, like the physical eyes. They have a nurturing that lets them into your psyche and your spirit, and they can see much more. Man, when they see that, man, and they touch that thing, man, how many brothers go off? They'll leave.
I used to.
Yep, she was tripping, dog. Like, man, she always was nagging me. She always was on me, talking about, man, you could do better. You could do this. You could do it. But, man, a lot of times, man, if you peel the onion back, there's some truth in what they're saying because you're actually being complacent. But they just touched the sore spot in your spirit, man. And sometimes you got to go through that excruciating pain to heal. Dude, when have you ever healed from anything and didn't have to go through pain?
Let me tell you something. As somebody who just recently put a bullet through his own leg, I know healing. And let me tell you something. There was nothing sweet about the healing process. Nothing sweet about it at all. From the leaking of the blood, from the stiffness of the muscle, from the learning how to walk all over again. Nothing, not one part of that incident of healing felt good. But guess what? It was all necessary for me to be able to do what again? Walk again. For me to be able to be actively walking and using my limbs again.
And
So,
Rod, think about this real quick. So let's take it all the way back to the video.
mhm.
How much pain is that man going to have to go through with them 7 kids,
Shit.
those 7 women?
Shit.
So now a brother like me and you goes to talk to him, and we putting our finger on that sore.
He's gonna want to fight.
We putting our finger on all 7 sores. That's why he was talking to Anton the way he was talking to him, y'all. Because Anton was putting the finger on the sores.
And the longer he put that off, the greater that pain gonna be.
The greater the pain gonna be.
So he could wait until he on his deathbed. And that's when people have the greatest regret, because they did a study on regret. And they waited till people got 85 and they did a study and just asked them, what's the major thing you regret? And most of their focuses wasn't on shit that they did. It was on shit that they didn't do. And I guarantee if he does not do that, once he gets later on in life, that will start occupying the mind.
All right, and I'm so glad because you know who you are. And I'm gonna take this moment because this is a great moment. If you are watching this, you know who you are. And I'm saying this on purpose because the person who I hope is watching this at some point, you know that if you don't stop the bleeding, and these gentlemen just eloquently broke down stopping the bleeding. And what I mean is stopping the bleeding, just simply being honest about where you are and being honest about your past mistakes and then moving on from now, making from now on better. But if you do not and you go on like this, Chris just let you know your final deathbed and you be sitting there thinking about regret, it's probably going to be the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. So I'm begging, I'm pleading, not for you, not at all for you, because you're a grown man. You're a grown man out there. But who I'm pleading for is for the tomorrows of those children that you brought into this world. I'm praying for the tomorrows of those babies that have to grow up with the same void that crushes me every single time that I feel that I don't know what to tell my own son when it's time to give him a lesson about something. I don't want them to grow up to feel these pains, but you're guaranteeing that they will by the behavior you're putting on right now. But you can change it.
Yes, sir.
All you gotta just do is be honest about where you are right now and just the mistakes that you have made, and it's just that simple.
Man, it's been a great time.
Man, Rod, I'm gonna say this one last thing. There's a pastor that told me this a long time ago, and he preached this message, and the message was so powerful, man, that I literally cried probably about 3 days because it touched me so deeply. And what he talked about was the father fracture. And if anybody's ever had a fracture before, right, they always say that a fracture is actually worse than a break.
It is, indeed.
Because a fracture can continue to exist and you don't even know it's there, but you're hurting.
Very much.
And when there's the lack of a fathering spirit in a man or a woman's life, it creates a fracture. And you can still do what you need to do. Like, for instance, if you got a fracture in your leg and your tibia or whatever, you can walk, but it's going to hurt.
Right.
There are so many people out here hurting, but they're fractured because a father's not doing what you just asked these men to do. So if you don't want to
So with
create
a
that, you know what I'm saying?
so with a fracture, to follow your metaphor, you're saying that you can feel the pain, but you can't place the source of the pain.
You can't. You can't. You gotta go super deep to find out even what the pain. Like, Rod, come on, man. You play sports.
Hey, and
That's a
yeah,
good ass analogy, though. That's father
Yeah.
fracture. That's dope.
and I'm
Yeah.
going to break that down even further because I actually lived that. So in my 9th grade year of basketball, my coach told me, "Hey, listen, check this out. I want you to get more physical and go play football." So I went and played a full season of football. But in the last game of the season, I took a mean shot to my left leg, and no, I'm lying. It was 2 games before the end of the season. I took a mean shot to my left leg. Now the last 2 games, I was able to walk and run. But when I took a hit or gave a hit, I had a really bad jolt of pain in my leg. But because I was young and dumb, I thought to myself, I don't want to stop playing. I'm not going to tell anyone about this pain. It should just stop. But in all actuality, what had happened was I was walking around and playing, operating on a fractured femur. Think about that. The femur, the biggest bone in your body, is
The
fractured.
strongest.
Exactly. And I'm playing on a fractured one. So what happened was all the time that I thought between seasons, right? Because there's time between football season and basketball season. I thought to myself, in that little gap, I could heal it and then go on and play. You can't heal a fracture in that short period of time, especially
No.
if you're not aware of it. Right, to your point, Eric. If you're not aware of it, which I wasn't, I just thought it was something that I felt pain in. But what happened on that dreadful day was I simply thought that it was time to go take off and make a highlight and dunk on a kid. And when I went to go jump and bang knees in the air, my femur completely broke.
Ooh.
So when I landed, it was nothing but a pop. And my knee was facing one way and my toe was facing the other way. But Eric, you pointed all that to say because it was the awareness of the actual fracture.
Mm-hmm.
Now, had I known that it was actually a fracture and I would have broken my leg, I damn sure wouldn't have played on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have gave myself at least the first 3-4 months of that season and prayed to God my teammates made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But or played next year, but I wouldn't have played that year because I would have had the awareness of where the pain is at and what kind of pain I was really actually dealing with. Because the truth of the matter is, beyond the pain of the fracture, I didn't know what kind of nerve damage and all that kind of things had happened.
Come on, bro.
Inside the leg. So imagine all the
Yes.
wounds, all the internal things that these children are gonna face. Because shit, look at me. Yo, there is a void in my life, Eric. We talked about this last night. I appreciate who you are in my life because I have a natural void that will never be filled no matter what I do. Because my biological, the one that created me, my DNA source, is not in my life, hasn't been in my life to give me the nurture and the things that I need. So I will consistently and forever have this hole and this void. But guess what? Through God, through great men like Eric and other individuals who have poured into me, I can subside that wound and be able to live with it. But how many more children are we going to ask to live with these wounds, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
How many more are we going to do this to?
And to kind of touch on that before I have to jet out of here, I got a client at 6 a.m. But when we were talking about the 85 thing and not regretting, an exercise that I try to practice often is kind of projecting myself out to when I'm 85. Like if I didn't change any of my habits right now, if I didn't change nothing, if I project myself out to 85 and I'm just laying on my deathbed, one, who is there? If I keep my life how it is now, who gonna be there? And am I gonna be happy with the road that I chose? And if I say no, which 9 times out of 10 the answer is no, then I readjust. And then I try to imagine, well, what do I want my shit to be when I'm 85, 95 on my deathbed and all that? And then I try to reverse engineer from there. So that's just like an exercise that I try to do pretty often just to change my habits. Because Jim Rohn would always say, you know, take inventory of your habits. Are all your present habits taking you in the direction that you currently want to go? And if they're not, then you need to readjust.
For sure.
That's a phenomenal way to end this episode, man. Oh my God. Like, this has been a phenomenal conversation. And like I always say, if we have stepped on your toes with this conversation and you feel triggered,
good.
well, you're welcome. And the pain will subside if you do the work. Simple.
Hey, all we did was touch the soil. That's all we did.
That's all we did.
We touched the soil. And
as long as I have oxygen in my lungs and my great sponsors continue to pay for my lighting and my electricity in here, I will continue to step on y'all punk ass niggas' toes. Real rap. Because I'm not going nowhere. My kids depend on this. I'm trying to make sure that my son has a valuable woman to go after, and my daughter has a valuable candidate to let come find her. That's what I'm working towards. So it ain't really about the generation right now or the ones before us. I'm really working so that my generations after us will reap the benefits, man. So with that being said, yo, Kings, you got anything else for other people before we get up out of here? Man,
enough said.
Right,
great episode.
I'm backing away slowly.
Hey, yo, listen. So with that, you know I can't get up out of here until I give at least one of my sound effects. So you know. Yo, listen, y'all. I really do appreciate each and every one. Anybody who is checking us out on Instagram, I appreciate you because you literally could have doing anything else for the last hour. To all 5 of y'all who was checking us out and been around with us for the entire episode, I appreciate and I thank you because I know your time is valuable and I do not take that lightly. If you want to watch this episode and you want to hear everything in its full entirety, this episode will be out within the next 7 days. So look forward. Go over to the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. It's actually called the I'm Perfect Network now on YouTube. We have switched our name. It is called the I'm Perfect Network. Go over there and you'll be able to check out this and all other phenomenal episodes of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. So please go over there, like, comment, subscribe, and also please do not have no stingy energy. Share this out. Share this conversation now because what we talked about tonight, I can guarantee you will make a difference in all kinds of different circles, but it takes you sharing this message so it can get out there. So with that being said, this is your boy RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and you know how we end podcasts around here, and today is not going to be any different. So with that being said, fathers, to the world, you're just a dad. That's all you are. But to your family, you're the world. Don't you forget that. But until the next time we catch you out here in these podcast streets, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's okay. You just get those people from around you. Yo, this is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman. And this has been another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed, because we will. Peace out.